What do you remember from last year's game that you would think will help you on Monday night?
From last year's game, I guess, I remember losing. I remember that. I remember, it was a pretty tough fought game. I remember some big plays. We made some plays. They made some plays. It was some good, but probably a little more bad. That's mainly what I remember from last year. So I'm not really thinking too much about last year, being it's a new season. But I remember kind of the good. I probably remember the bad a little bit more than the good from last year.
Marlon, Dave Ginsburg with the Associated Press. Could you just talk about your knack for trying to get the ball, not just knocking the ball away, but scoring a touchdown, picking up a fumble, forcing a fumble, whatever it takes for you to take the ball the other way?
That's one of the things we try to preach here with our defense is, try to get turnovers and try to, score with it. We have that as two of our goals, to get turnovers, but to not only get them, to score with them as well. So it was good that LJ was able to, score, get our first defensive touchdown of the season, and that was really good for the team. And when it comes to getting the ball, I got the best guy in the league at that, in Marcus Peters. I mean, that's not really an opinion. That's just the fact. Since he's been in the league, he's gotten the ball more than anybody else. So anytime I need a tip or a hint or something, I can go to him, and he's always there to tell me something. And usually whatever he's thinking, he usually executes it on Sunday.
Hey, Marlon, from ESPN. I know every game counts just as much as all the other games, but everybody in kind of the football world is saying that they've been anticipating Ravens Chiefs. As players, does this game have a different feel than others?
For me, it's a different feel because it's on Monday, and it's Monday Night Football prime time. The Chiefs, Super Bowl champs. It's really all the things you want. When it comes to playing, the best team in the league last year, primetime stage. So as far as, different than the rest, there's going to be a lot of big games, but every game's pretty big. We're just mainly trying to take it, one game at a time. But, it's kind of, like you said, even though you try to take that approach, it is a little tougher when it comes to the Chiefs.
Hey, Marlon, Todd Carver from SI. How does the loss to Tavon Young impact your secondary, and what kind of adjustments you have to make to prepare for the Chiefs?
Losing Tay was rough. We haven't got on the field yet to see what adjustments exactly we're going to make, but we're still trying to figure out some of the kinks and the different things that without Tay having. But Tavon's not really a guy you can really replace. We call him a pit bull just because he's small, but he's got a big bite. So that's a loss that's going to be tough, but I think we got the guys to be able to bounce back from it.
Hey,
Marlon, Mike Preston, Baltimore Sun. How much will the crowd, or not having a crowd, impact the game, and has it impacted you guys when you were on the road last week?
For me, I personally enjoy away games because when you make plays, the crowd gets silent. So it's actually been last week, actually, with the Texans. I walked up the field and I was like, man, I love this game today. Just with no crowd fans in the stands, it seemed like it's just football. It's no other fluff. I don't really get too involved with the fans anyway, but it just seemed like there was just a lot of fluff. You can hear what a guy says to you in the pile. You can hear it a lot better. What you say to him, he's going to hear it. So the trash talk goes, and what gets said is what's said. You hear their checks, they hear our checks. It's just football, and you gotta it's a new way of playing with no fans. But so far, I've been really enjoying it.
Hey, Marlon, Pete Gilbert here, WBAL. What's it like trying to prepare for Mahomes? I mean, he's a guy who's so accurate. He reads defenses so well. He's fundamental, but he also might throw a no-look pass. I mean, he's so creative and just special in that way. What's it like, and what are you trying to key on?
For Mahomes, I think you said it best. He's got all these tools, and he's got so much talent around him. He actually completed that no-look pass on me that started that whole journey. So that was I've seen that clip so many times on social media, and just it always seems to come up somewhere. But with Mahomes, as good as he is in the pocket, he's just as good, as probably better outside of the pocket, which is the craziest thing about his game. So preparing for him, it's really tough. You can't really say, any team has really just been able to just stop him completely. He's never really out of a game. You see they go up on the Texans, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and they come right back. He's never really out of the game until they either lose the game, and, they don't lose too many. So it'll be tough. I trust in Wink, whatever game plan he's going to have, and we'll figure it out and get going.
Marlon, you made all pro last year. Hey, Marlon. Kirk McEwen from 98 Rock. Anthony Averett is going to step in. How is he going to do? Is he going to be ready, like Chuck Clark ready? You see him every day.
Anthony's somebody, I know very well. I played with him at Bama, started alongside him. And, he's a Bama guy. So anytime, his number's called, I think he'll be ready. He's shown us a lot in practice. And I know I definitely trust in him. So whenever his numbers get called, whoever is in, whatever way it goes, I trust that, they'll be ready to go.
Hey, Marlon, this is Childs Walker of the Baltimore Sun. You grew up around some great rivalries. Do you think that Chiefs-Ravens at least has the potential to be a matchup that people are excited about for years to come?
I definitely think so. I think, Mahomes just signed, 10-year, whatever, $500 million, and, MVP in that quarterback. And then we got Lamar. They'll be, MVP, and he'll be a Raven for life. So it's I think with those two teams, I think when the NFL's picking out the schedule, I think they'll always find a way to keep these two teams going at each other. And it's when those two quarterbacks on the field, it's magic on both sides. We already, I see every week what Lamar can do, and I always see some highlight or something of what Mahomes can do. So when you got two superstar quarterbacks like that, it's always going to be a fun game, and it's going to be a lot of plays made against you. But then you got to just try to, when the plays come, that you're able to make plays on these superstar quarterbacks, you got to make them.
We'll do one last question with Donna Schaefer.
Marlon, I know you've made All-Pro last year, playing a lot in the slot. When you look at some of the best guys in the league at that position, what are some of the skills, some of the traits that those guys generally have?
When I look at that, that nickel position, I really kind of look at, I lean on Tay a little bit, figure out what he does, a little bit of Webb. Those are just two Raven guys that did it. But Chris Harris is probably one of the best guys that kind of can flip-flop inside and outside. You got to be really savvy. Usually, my body type's usually not a nickel corner guy, but I was able to do it all right last year. So we'll try to get me in there some, again. But the biggest thing I think you see from nickel corners is you're going to be around the ball a lot. So anytime you can make a play, you gotta do it, just because you're around the ball so much. And whether it's tackling, sometimes hitting the box, you sometimes come on some blitzes. It's a lot of different things you do inside there, and it'll be. We haven't, like I said, we haven't figured out the game plan yet, but, I'll be in there. I think some other guys will be in there. I think it'll be kind of rotating all around. So I'll be outside, I'll be inside. You just never know who's going to be in there. It just depends on the formation, who they have in, and what package the coaches feel like is best once it all gets settled down and we finish up the game plan.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much, Marlon, for being here. We really appreciate it. And to the media, we'll send you breakout rooms and bring you back shortly.